If you take the dental area, they have their own microorganism load. If you take the gut, that is the stomach, they call the gut flora, intestinal floras, pancreatic flora, spleen flora, liver flora, you know, lung flora, and every part of the body has got huge amount of microorganisms. So Russell Jaffe is 85 plus old Jewish scientist who lives in Seattle in America. He's one of the pioneering guy who had done a lot of work in microbiome. He was the head of National Institute of Health, NIH in America once upon a time. He's still an active guy in his research. There are a lot of videos available about him, his findings in YouTube. RUSSELLJAFFE. You can go and watch them. You know, the second largest microorganism built in our body, other than our digestive system, the first ever system in our body which is holding huge amount of microorganism is the digestive system from the dental to the anus. When the hematology becomes acidic in nature due to many factors, you know, they come and disturb. This blood has to flow to the skin to give the nourishment. You know, the acidic condition of the blood sometimes disturbs. A warm welcome to all of you all. I am your Dr. CKN. In today's program, we are going to talk about microbiome, the microorganisms of the human body. So way back, I have done 2 programs on microbiome part 1 and part 2, which carries a lot of information about the microbiome part of the human body, which is there in my playlist. It is there in English. You can go and have a view of it. For the benefit of listeners, I want you all to understand what is the microorganisms part of the human body. Approximately around 100 trillion cells, that is around 10 lakh crores, human cells are built as in every human being. There are 100 trillion cells are functioning. For each and every cell in our body, we have 200 to 500 microorganisms, which varies from person to person. Suppose if you are having around 300 microorganisms for every cell, you are not only built with 100 trillion cells, you are also built with 100 into 300 trillion microorganisms. They are such tiny creatures. They are there in every part of your body. If you collect the entire microorganisms of the human body, they have estimated that it will be something to your size of your liver. Okay. These microorganisms are there in every part of your body. For example, in your dental area, they have so far identified more than 800 species of microorganisms are living. We are born with them. As we grow, they grow with us. As we live, they live with us. As we depart, they also perish. So this is very important. So every part of the body has microorganisms. They are called the floras. If you take the brain will have its own floras. They are not like one type. There are a number of them. If you take the dental area, they have their own microorganism load. If you take the gut, that is the stomach, they call the gut flora, intestinal floras, pancreatic flora, spleen flora, liver flora, lung flora, and every part of the body has got huge amount of microorganisms. They are very important for our entire functioning. For you to understand, the functioning of microorganisms in our body is directly related to the human cell function, and the human cell function is directly related to the microbiome function. So they are interdependent. Only in the last 30 years, we are having extensive research on the microorganism part of the human body. We are trying to find more and more information as what's happening inside. And huge amount of research is also going on. So how your human cell has to be protected? Your microbiome also have to be protected, which is very important. Because without the microorganisms or malfunctioning of microorganisms, we are going to land up in a lot of trouble, because it's directly going to affect our cell function. So these latest studies in the last 30-35 years have not come up in a big way to any curriculum so far, but the informations are available very much in the internet, many research papers and many videos and so on. So Russell Jaffe is 85 plus old Jewish scientist who lives in Seattle in America. He's one of the pioneering guy who had done a lot of work in microbiome. He was the head of National Institute of Health, NIH in America once upon a time. He's still an active guy in his research. There are a lot of videos available about him, his findings in YouTube. RUSSELLJAFFE. You can go and watch them. There are many people like Jack Kruse, Robin Schutkon, many scientists now, going on and on, finding more and more information about the microorganism functions inside our body. So as far as your stomach is concerned, the gut flora, they are called the lactobacillus bacteria of various types. They are, completely involved in the processing of your food. It is just not the stomach alone grinding into pulp. The processing by the microorganisms in trillions go on, processing your food before it could, reach the duodenum and go to the lumen of the intestine. So we have to have a healthy gut. A healthy gut is nothing other than the healthy lactobacillus bacteria in it. So trying to understand more and more information about these microorganisms processing our food, which becomes accepted by the human cells later, it is a conversion. So nowadays they called stomach it's called bioreactor. The stomach today is called bioreactor, because so much of work is going on by the microorganism as the food stays inside the stomach getting into pulp over a span of 2.5 to 4 hours, which helps our digestion, absorption, acceptance, so on, in a beautiful manner. We are trying to find more and more information about it. So there are microorganisms in our body. Most of them are good to us. There are microorganisms in our body. They can also be bad to us, because they eat and what they excrete, these bad microorganisms, it becomes toxic in nature. There are many types of microorganisms which they eat and excrete becomes a vital component for us. For example, there are lactobacillus bacteria produce melatonin as their excretion in the stomach. For example, there is a particular microorganism in the smaller intestine. What they eat and excrete becomes vitamin K2 for us. You can go and study all these things. The second largest microorganism built in our body, other than our digestive system, the first ever system in our body which is holding huge amount of microorganism is the digestive system from the dental to the anus. And the second largest microbiome part of the body is the dermis health, the skin. Your skin is full of microorganisms, huge. Their harmony becomes very important. Their harmonious function becomes very important for a good, healthy, smooth, shining skin. External creams and, all kinds of cosmetics produced day in and day out, coming new products in the market about, maintaining a healthy skin can never be the answer. The only answer to maintain the best of the skin, smoothie or silky or shiny or whatever you call it, the dermis health, is purely based on the harmonious function of the microorganisms, which are the skin floras. When the hematology becomes acidic in nature due to many factors, they come and disturb. This blood has to flow to the skin to give the nourishment. The acidic condition of the blood sometimes disturbs our microorganism built-in system of the skin. Then we get into skin problems. They are more of inflammatory problems. They are more of acidic condition of the plasma. Your various types of psoriasis, scalp psoriasis, eczemas, and so on. So microorganisms are something which is very, very important to every function of our body. We are probably having very little information with respect to our research. And as the day comes, as the year go by, we will be having more and more of informations of microbiome, of the human body. That plays a key role for our normal living and, fitness to live without all types of diseases, all types of problems. Microorganisms affecting us from outside, which doesn't belong to us, they are called the infectious diseases like tuberculosis or pneumonia or, tetanus and so on. But microorganisms within ourselves are the key component for our healthy life. Thank you.